stories glow. Palm lantern ignite, where the tales will flow. Whispers of the night, under moonlit skies. Every word so bright, in your mind it lies. Palm lantern light guides you through the night. Every tale in sight makes your heart ignite.
The following weekend, they had their first official date at an art gallery. Osas picked Patricia up from school, dressed in his best suit, a lesson he had learned well from Mr. Benson. People see you before they hear you. Patricia wore a stunning black dress. She looked radiant, effortlessly beautiful. Osas silently thanked God for shining his favor on him. They explored the gallery together, laughing, talking, and admiring the artwork. Osas learned so much from Patricia. Her passion, her insight, her depth. She saw stories in paintings he never would have noticed on his own. Later, over lunch, Osas looked into her eyes and spoke from his heart. "I have feelings for you, Patricia," he said quietly. "I admire you deeply. Your faith, your kindness, your strength. I love you. I want you to be by my side as my woman. I want to know you deeply." Patricia's eyes softened. "Yes," she said, smiling. "The feeling is mutual, Osas. I love you." A gentle silence followed, both of them absorbing the beauty of the moment. "But I want to do this right," Osas added. "I'm going to speak to your parents. Your father sees me as a son. I don't want to disrespect that." Patricia reached across the table and took his hand. "I don't think Dad will be against us. Honestly, I believe any man would be thrilled to have a godly man like you courting his daughter." Osas let out a nervous laugh. "I won't lie, I'm afraid. Daughters are sacred to fathers and your mother. Well, she's never really warmed up to me." Patricia squeezed his hand. "Hey, I love you. That's what matters. And trust me, they'll come around. You're a rare kind of man, Osas. You make it easy to love you." On a lovely Easter Sunday, Mr. Benson invited Osas for lunch. Business was booming. Osas' restaurant was now a household name among corporate clients, and plans were underway to launch a second branch on the island. Everyone was home: Patricia, Thelma, and even the new housekeeper. The new housekeeper served the meal, while Osas sat opposite Patricia. Their chemistry was undeniable. Thelma already knew they were dating. She had seen Osas at Patricia's hostel and had been sworn to secrecy. Even Mrs. Benson, despite her denial, sensed the shift in their glances, the stolen smiles. After the meal, Osas cleared his throat and stood. "Sir Ma," he began, his voice steady but sincere. "I have something to say." All eyes turned to him. Patricia gently placed her hand on her lap, her heart racing. "I'm here today to ask for your blessing to date your daughter, Patricia. I love her. I admire her faith, her mind, and her gentleness. I respect her deeply and want to honor her and both of you. By doing this the right way." There was silence. Then, Mr. Benson dropped his fork, leaned back, and looked Osas in the eye. "Osas," he said slowly, "you've been like a son to me. I've mentored you, and I'm proud of the man you're becoming. But that's a different matter entirely." Patricia's smile faded. Mr. Benson stood, his voice rising slightly. "Do you think because I mentored you, you now have a right to everything I have, including my daughter?" Osas' eyes widened. "Sir, I never—" Mr. Benson cut him off sharply. "You're a good man, Osas, but I have to protect my daughter. She's our world. So tell me, does this mean that all the while you were living under our roof, you were sneaking around with Patricia?" Patricia immediately stood up, her voice trembling but firm. "Daddy, that's not fair." She looked him in the eye, her voice growing steadier. "Osas has always honored our friendship. He has never disrespected me, not once. He's never made any advances toward me. He's a godly man." Her eyes welled with tears. "I'm keeping my body for him too, because I believe in us." "Daddy, please." "No," Mr. Benson thundered. "I know your heart, but you don't understand what this means. Marriage isn't just about love, it's about compatibility, shared values, shared background. You just jump into this because you're both godly." Mrs. Benson said nothing. Her eyes darted between them, stunned by her husband's reaction. She hadn't expected him to react with such intensity. Osas felt like the ground had cracked beneath him. He took a steady breath. "Sir," he said quietly, "you once told me I was like the son you never had. I have never disrespected you, and I would never hurt Patricia. I love her." Mr. Benson looked away, then back at Osas. Pain etched across his face. "That's what makes this so hard," he muttered. "If you had been anyone else, this would have been easier to deal with." Without another word, he turned and slowly climbed the stairs to his room. Patricia turned desperately to her mother. "Mummy, please help me talk to Daddy. I really love Osas." Mrs. Benson sighed. "I'll talk to your father. Osas, you can come back another day." She understood how Patricia felt. Years ago, her own sister had suffered a deep rift in the family because their parents rejected her choice of a partner. The wounds had taken years to heal. She didn't want that for her daughter. Yes, she had always dreamed of Patricia marrying someone from the daylight of society. But Osas had shown himself to be godly, respectful, and hardworking. Above all, she wanted peace for her daughter. The same peace she had enjoyed with her husband. Later, Patricia walked Osas to the gate. He longed to hug her, to reassure her with more than words, but he held back. He didn't want to make things worse. "I'll call you," he whispered. Mrs. Benson kept her word and spoke to her husband, but he remained firm. The next morning, Mr. Benson informed Patricia that she would now be commuting to school from home. The driver would take her and bring her back. "But Daddy, I have exams in 2 weeks," she protested gently. "It's easier to study on campus." He shook his head. "You have too much time on your hands. That's why you have time to sneak around with a man." Patricia was crushed. She wept quietly that night, curled up in bed. Thelma, now back home for a break, stayed by her side, comforting her through the tears. Osas called. His voice was calm, yet full of strength. "Pat, baby," he said gently, "don't let this break you. God will take control. We've come too far to let this stop us. Stay focused. Don't let this distract you from preparing for your exams. Let's keep trusting him. He makes all things beautiful in his time." 3 days after the confrontation, Osas went to Mr. Benson's office. Without hesitation, he asked to see him. But Mr. Benson sent him away. Osas didn't bat an eyelid. "Sir, please," he said calmly, "just hear me out. I won't leave until you do. I love Patricia. She has exams in 2 weeks, and I'm afraid this might affect her focus." Mr. Benson stood up and pointed toward the door. "If you don't leave right now, I'll call security." Osas stood his ground. "Then I'll come back tomorrow, and the day after. Every day if I must." At that moment, Mr. Benson didn't see a boy anymore. He saw a man willing to enter the lion's den for love. With a sigh, he opened his door and stepped aside. "Come in," he said stiffly. "Thank you for letting me in, sir," Osas said, stepping inside respectfully. "Be quick with whatever you have to say, and leave my office." Osas took a breath and looked at Mr. Benson straight in the eye. His voice was steady, sincere. "Sir, I was just a young man with big dreams when you took me in, and I'll forever be grateful for that. From the very first day I spoke to your daughter, I fell in love with her. Yes, she's beautiful, but that's not what captured me." He paused, heart pounding. "The day I came for the housekeeper job, Patricia noticed the tear in my trousers. Later that day, she brought me a box of clothes. She didn't act like she was doing me a favor, or that I was some charity case. She simply said, 'My dad would be happy for you to wear these.' Then she spoke about you, how your actions and your love for God pushed her to seek him for herself. She said you were the embodiment of 1 Corinthians 13. Her words nearly brought tears to my eyes. That day, I missed my parents terribly. I fell for her that day, but I kept my distance. Out of respect for you, for her, and because I knew I wasn't ready. I wasn't the man she deserved. So I worked, studied, and built something. And through it all, she remained my motivation. I've been striving every single day to become the kind of man worthy of her love. His voice cracked slightly, but he pressed on. But that night at the business launch, when she stayed back just to help, when she asked if I needed anything, I couldn't keep the distance anymore. I realized I couldn't stand the thought of another man taking her away, not someone who wouldn't treasure her, protect her, and honor her. Osas took a step forward, heart bare. I love her, sir, with all my heart and soul. Mr. Benson sat in silence. His expression softened. His lips parted slightly, but no words came. For a moment, he leaned back slowly in his chair, eyes misty, hands clasped. I'm sorry, Osas, Mr. Benson said quietly. I owe you an apology. I've wronged you. The truth is, I was jealous. Osas looked up, surprised. Mr. Benson continued, his voice tinged with vulnerability. Patricia is my first fruit. We've always been close. She used to have time for me, calls, texts, and little updates throughout her day. But ever since you came into the picture, her phone is always busy. Fewer messages, fewer moments. He paused and smiled faintly. I guess you're wondering how I knew. One day, I decided to surprise my pumpkin at her hostel, and I saw you. You were hugging her. I stood there, watching from a distance. That's when I realized you were the one. The man who had captured her heart, and unknowingly took her attention from me. Osas was stunned. Sir, I had no idea. Mr. Benson nodded. I know. I'm truly sorry, sir, Osas said earnestly. It was never my intention to come between you and Patricia. You've given me everything. Your family is the only family I have. I would never take her away from you. She loves you deeply. She talks about you with so much admiration. You are her role model. Mr. Benson stood and walked over to him. Gently, he placed his hand on Osas' shoulder. Forgive me, he said softly. You are a good man. You and Patricia are lucky to have each other. Welcome to the family. You have my blessing completely. Tears welled in Osas' eyes as joy filled his chest. Thank you, sir. I promise to always protect and honor her. As he stepped out of the office, he couldn't wait a moment longer. He called Patricia. Hey, Pat, he said, grinning from ear to ear. Guess what? What? Tell me, she said, breathless with anticipation. Your dad gave us his blessing. Her squeal of excitement was so loud that Osas had to pull the phone slightly away from his ear. How did you do it? She asked, laughing. I didn't. God did, but maybe text him more often. Call him too. He misses you. That weekend, Mr. Benson invited Osas and Patricia over for dinner. It was warm, intimate, and filled with laughter. At the end of the evening, with the entire family present, Osas stood and cleared his throat. Sir Ma, he began, his voice steady. With your blessing, I would like to ask for her hand in marriage. Mr. Benson looked at his daughter, who smiled, nodded, and squeezed Osas' hand under the table. Mr. Benson smiled. If she says yes, then you already have my yes, son. Patricia threw her arms around her father, and he hugged her back tightly. Then, looking over her shoulder, Mr. Benson locked eyes with Osas. Just know this, son. If you ever break her heart, you'll have me to answer to. Osas chuckled, placing a hand over his chest. I wouldn't dare, sir. Patricia turned and mouthed a soft thank you to Osas for honoring her father first. The joy in the room was palpable. Everyone was excited for what lay ahead. 2 months later, with Thelma's help, Osas planned a beautiful and intimate proposal. Surrounded by her family, Patricia said yes, beaming through tears. 6 months after that, they were married in a joyous church ceremony, witnessed by friends and loved ones. It was a celebration of faith, growth, and divine timing. Their life together wasn't without challenges, but they faced them with love, patience, an unwavering trust in God through every high and low. They held fast to each other and to the word that had brought them together. And so, Osas and Patricia lived not just happily ever after, but faithfully ever after.
Underneath the stars, worlds begin to